Woohoo! And we're live once again on another Tuesday. And I have a lovely friend in the house today, Jeremy Freeman from across the pond. He's amazing. I love him. And I'm so thrilled that he's here today. So we are going to get stuck right in our conversation. But before we do, Jeremy, can you go ahead and just briefly introduce yourself, tell people who you are and what you do, and then we'll get stuck in with our topic.
Fantastic. Great to be here, Gillian. Really an honour to be here with you, Gillian. The LinkedIn Live Queen. My name is Jeremy Freeman. I'm known as the human content writer on LinkedIn. And I'm also one of the organisers of the Uplift Live conference alongside John and Gus. And the other thing is, it's fantastic to be here, and especially after your talk last year.
Thank you. Thank you. So our topic today is being human on LinkedIn, authentic content in the digital age. And I think I'm going to kick it off by being totally transparent and telling everybody that Jeremy is profoundly deaf. He was born deaf. And we are doing this live, first time with me, by using captions. We're using live captions. We wish StreamYard had these integrated for us, but they don't. So we're using live captions so that we can talk back and forth with each other. And so I just wanted to let you know that. But before we go any further, Jeremy is donning a beard today. And that's anybody who knows Jeremy might be saying, oh, is this a new look, Jeremy? Now, I know the story. And it's quite touching and it's very personal. But being human on LinkedIn is sometimes about sharing those personal moments. So, Jeremy, can we kick this off with telling everybody exactly why you have a beard right now?
Yes, sadly, my father passed away on the 3rd of July, which was quite sudden, everything. I mean, he had been unwell for about a number of years with Parkinson, but he did pass away very quickly, unexpectedly, on the 3rd of July. And as a result of that, from the date of the funeral, which was the 7th of July, we observed 30 days. Which is of Jewish mourning, which basically we don't shave for 30 days. So we've got a number of traditions, Jewish traditions, including the fact that we have a funeral very quickly. And we also have what we call a shiva, which is basically a house mourning for 7 days, where we have visitors throughout the week, all day long. So it's very intense. But it's a great way of helping to grieve with friends and family and so on. And this is basically simply a tradition that I've decided to mark 30 days. So I'm looking forward to shaving in a week's time because everyone tells me they love it. I'm really distinguished with it, etc. But you be quite honest, I hate it. I want to get rid of it as soon as possible. It makes me look like an 80-year-old.
I love that. And that's a very touching story. And just for anybody who doesn't know, I am also Jewish. And the one thing about the Jewish tradition that really gives me comfort is the fact that our rituals for grieving are so wise in that taking that time at the beginning with the 7 days of Shiva and really processing that grief as much as we can by not doing anything. And we literally cover up the mirrors. We're not supposed to be thinking of ourselves, and then moving through for the first 30 days. And then the next observation is the first year where we have Yartzeit. And I know my own mother's Yartzeit and my father's Yartzeit is coming up. So again, these traditions can be something as a teachable moment. And Jeremy has been sharing his grief within his posts of this is what happened to him, and using these as teachable moments so that people can understand a different culture, a different tradition. And we invite other people to do the same because that is what makes us different. And I think the more we understand other traditions, the less we are prejudiced and we understand more. So anyways.
Absolutely. I mean, on that, when I shared about the Shiva, I also learned about other religions. I actually put a question there. how do you do, what do you do to observe that? And I actually made a comment today. I can't understand that why people bury their parents or whatever in a month's time or 2 months' time. I find that crazy, like that. And people they love the Jewish way of doing it. The sooner the better. So that was really interesting to see the observations.
Exactly. So it's nice when we can learn from each other. And I know even once I did a post on Hanukkah, and I had people talking me about, we call it the Festival of Lights. It's in the winter, and it's not a Jewish Christmas. It's different. And yet other people came up and said, "Oh, well, we use lights in our different religions and how we use it." And it's wonderful because we all learn from each other. So I love that. So talking about being human on LinkedIn, which we've already been doing, we kind of covered the first point, Jeremy, which is storytelling. So that's a powerful thing. And I know you recently did a presentation and you were talking about storytelling. So truly, is this maybe one of the most biggest points about how to be human?
Absolutely. I mean, so when I first came on LinkedIn many years ago, I didn't post that much. And every time I posted something, I was just posting about my business. I was being boring, quite frankly. I was doing what everyone was doing, just selling our business. And I didn't realize, hang on a minute, when I used to do a lot of networking. And for me, it's all about relationship. It's all about building relationships. Um, and that's what I do. I build relationships, but so it's all about being relational rather than transactional. And I believe I started storytelling probably 3, 4, 5 years ago. I really made a deliberate, conscious attempt to talk about me or talk about other things that happen, or stuff that's happened around me and so on. And the reason I did that was I wanted to get to know me, the real me. Because at the end of the day, people buy people. So one thing that about 3 years ago, I don't know if you know, Strictly Come Dancing. Of course, you have that in America. You have that everywhere. And we had a dancer called Rose, a deaf dancer, Rose, and she basically did an incredible dance. It won the TV Moment of the Year and everything and so on. But the night on that actual program, she actually said, "I'm proud to be deaf," and I thought, hang on a minute, I didn't like that, and I actually made a post about that. Am I proud to be deaf? I mean, it's part of me, I guess. That would I rather I wasn't deaf? Yes, probably. Oh, and so on. But I've accepted it. That's me. That's my life, and so on. But I wrote a post about that. I was very human, really wrote a story about that. And it got picked up by quite a few newspapers. And it got picked up by radio, and it got picked up by TV as well, and so on. And I had over 500,000 impressions and so on, that kind of thing. And as a result, I got quite a bit of attention as a result of that. I got a few more followers and so on. But going viral, by the way, is not the be all and end all, trust me, because but it made people understand me, made people understand who I was and so on. And I kept on, writing lots of different stories about my life. Nostalgia, especially nostalgia, is fantastic. But the clever part is that I do integrate. You must be very subtle. I'm a content writer in there somewhere. So I'm not studying, but I'm actually, people do know what I do. So I'm not, that makes sense.
Yes. And actually, talking about writing, how did you even get that nickname, the human content writer? Where did that come from?
Well, I have to say, I have to thank one person for this, and that's Gus Bandel. So I contacted Gus out of the blue. I said, "Look, mate, I'm struggling here because I'm trying to get people to understand what I do and everything and how I do it. I don't want to be known as the ghost writer, the content writer." And I can't remember what my last headline was. And he said I could be the human content writer. I thought, hang on a minute, you just grabbed me there. Ever since, I put the word human content writer in my headline, my business just went up massively. Now I get 80% of my business from LinkedIn. It's thanks to Gus for that really clever headline. It's now been probably nearly 2 years since I've had that headline in there. And I'm not going to change it for a long time, I think, because a lot of people change their headlines a lot. But everyone knows me now as a human content writer.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that Gus was involved, because Gus is just an amazing guy, as his mother. Because we always laugh, because Gus refers to himself as the UK's number one LinkedIn trainer, according to his mom. And we just love that. We love that, because he's got such a great.
And then that's about personal branding. That is a massive example of personal branding. Everyone knows Gus as the number one LinkedIn trainer, according to his mum. Everyone knows me as the human content writer. I know you as the LinkedIn Live Queen.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of writing, so the human element is about writing in such a human conversational way. It's so important that you have to recognize. So how I'm talking to you is how I write. And that's what a lot of people, these so many people make a mistake about being dry, being corporate speak, and so on. And I just switch off. You know, I want to come through my writing. So I'm always confrontational in my writing. So in the context of social media, content linking, managing cognitive load effectively can lead to higher engagement. So basically, when you're really, you can have long form content, you can have short form content. As long as the content is simple, because it helps to process it a lot easier. It helps you to process in the brain as well. So it's all about building trust-based relationships with your audience.
I like that. I like that. So what's a tip so that people can capture that? Because I think that holds people back, because they think, oh, LinkedIn, it's a business platform. I have to write intelligently, or people will think I'm dumb, that sort of thing. So how do you encourage people to be more conversational?
Yeah, I mean, look, I have a motto, which is share, inform, and educate. Okay, and just stop pitching. Just forget about pitching. You forget about selling. Yeah, you can. I mean, you are literally selling through your own page. But the one thing is, you mustn't do is pitch. So you can share insight. You can offer help. You can engage in meaningful conversations without expecting anything in return. So I mean, it's always about providing value. It's always providing positive experience. It doesn't always have to be positive. I mean, some people know me as a grumpy old git. I can come across quite grumpy as well. But people love that as well. We've got a program here called Grumpy Old Guests or Grumpy Old Ladies, wherever they are, and we actually we complained about, oh God, why did this happen in this life? Why can't we open this bottle properly and that kind of thing? We complained about the world. We put the world to right and so on, because people love complaining. You know what the British are like? We love complaining, and but I always turn into a positive way. But I can share a quick couple of stories actually. I had a problem with my bank. And I wrote a post about it. I thought, look, this is really frustrating. My bank refusing to deal with me on the phone, because I've got a third person who helped me with my phone conversation, because I can't hear on the phone. And they refused to have that third person there, so I couldn't have this phone conversation. And it's really frustrating, because by now, we've got a better world. They should, other banks do have the conversation, no problem. But it was obviously untrained people in that department and so on. And I wasn't getting anywhere. So I wrote a LinkedIn post about it. And it went viral. And eventually the chief executive of the bank got in touch with me and really apologized to me for all that and made sure it would never happen again. And also sent me a very nice amount of money to compensate me as well. So that was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I've now got a great relationship with my bank. So it does, it does have an impact. People don't use Twitter for that. When you make a complaint, I don't use Twitter anymore to my complaint. LinkedIn is perfect. You can tag those companies in, and you can be human in there. But what's really important is you've got to, when you're writing, you've got to be fair, you've got to be balanced, you've got to give them the opportunity to respond. If you're going attacking them and so on, and you really come across it nasty and so on, you're not going to get anywhere. I would never come across it nasty on LinkedIn. So it's about being human, being nice, and fair and firm. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so how about I'm going to hop over and take some comments right now and see who's joining us today, because I see there's quite a lot of comments. So we have the lovely Jeff Young, who says, great topic. Jillian and Jeremy, we often talk about H to H, human to human, versus B to B on LinkedIn. And it's so true, Jeff. It is so true. And he says, if you are going to show up as an authentic human being. I love that, because it's absolutely true. So look at this guy, Gus. Here he is. He says, hey, here he is. Okay. His ears must be burning. Hey guys, great to see you both talking about a great subject too. And we love you, Gus. So we're sending kisses and hugs out to Gus. Jane is here with us. She says, hi, Jillian and Jeremy. So she's got her emojis, hang five with us. Abby says, hi, Jeremy, Freeman, and Jillian. So it's lovely to see all the people from all over the world joining us today, and we always love that. Julia says, hello, Jillian and Jeremy. Thanks for the invitation to join this conversation, with a little green heart. I love that. I love that. And Jane says, thank you for sharing about your traditions, Jeremy. Love to you and your family. Isn't that kind? That's so kind. But Jane she's lovely. I love Jane. And her walk in the woods. And I just love everything about Jane. She's amazing. This is my first ever LinkedIn Live and enjoying it. Yay!
Jillian, can I just say, Abby has just done a whole 30 days of videos for LinkedIn in the last few weeks. She's very new to LinkedIn, so congratulations, Abby, on achieving your 30 days on your video. Try LinkedIn Live next.
I love it. I love it. Abby, I'm going to go over and check out your videos today, because that's a challenge to do 30 days of video. But video, whether it's live or recorded, is such a great way for people to get to know, like, and trust you.
And she captioned all of them as well.
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart. And that is one thing that Jeremy and I both say that LinkedIn has done well with. Number one, the auto captions for videos. So if you have, if you upload your videos to LinkedIn, they now auto caption. A lot of us still do our own captions, but LinkedIn does it. And also captioning these lives so that the viewer can see what we're talking about as well. And Jeremy said prior to our show today, LinkedIn is actually doing very well with their captioning of the live. So LinkedIn, if you're listening, you get some thumbs up today, which is good. Jeff says, thank you for sharing your tradition, Jeremy. See, it's nice. It's nice that people like to hear about the different traditions, and it's a wonderful way of being human. Love the human content writer. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Do you have a t-shirt? You need a t-shirt, Jeremy. T-shirt with that on.
Good idea, actually.
You do. Get it for Uplift Live 2025. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. It wasn't me, Jeremy. It's all you. I just helped to bring it out of you. And his little orange heart. I love it. I love it. And Gus, it's great when that phrase really clicks, isn't it? I've actually heard the click sometimes in my head. That's true. That's true. And it reminds me of John Asperian, who we both know and love, and his story about how he became relentlessly helpful. And it's a story that's like so well known now that other people can repeat the story. So that's when you kind of know your storytelling. If it can go beyond you and other people start repeating the story, you're just like, wow. So Abby says you are not old or grumpy. So that's very kind. That's very kind. I don't think so either. And never pitch, but always be positive. Jeremy. So true. So true. To not pitch. And Majid says hi all. So he's joining us today. Hi. And we have Jane again with the hearts. And Gus says, I have a question actually. What are LinkedIn's accessibility options for you right now? And what can they do better to support people like you, Jeremy? Perfect question, Gus.
That's a great question. Actually, I mean, LinkedIn Caption, Julian mentioned, brought LinkedIn Live and also brought the audio. I mean, I think LinkedIn is the only place that I know where you can have audio rooms and you have captions on there, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was never part of Clubhouse, but I'm not sure if they ever had captions. I think
they did at the end. They
did at the end.
I think they still do now. I think nobody's on Clubhouse anymore that we know, but they did add that.
Yeah. So I'm actually impressed with the captions on the audio room. I would love to see captions on the video messaging or the audio voice notes. I would love to have that, but I found a way of getting that through my mobile using my integrated captions on there. So I'm able now to use my phone integrated captions on that. So it does work. So yeah, there are ways around it.
That's good to know. And to be honest with you, Jeremy, I didn't know that. So I am actually always very cautious about sending voice notes to people until I know for sure that they don't have any issues with hearing impairment. And with video, I always caption my videos that I send as DM messages because I just don't even know if you're in a place that you could even want to listen to me, so maybe you're going to be, I don't know, might wake up your dog if, me talking. I have a loud voice. So I always caption my, but there's nothing I can do with audio except maybe I think it's a good idea to maybe sometimes type out, this is what my voice message is going to be about too. But that's good to know there's a workaround though for you. So that's good. But I still think we should probably always make sure before we make the assumption, well, they'll figure it out, especially if it's an important message, so that's good to know. That's a good question, Gus. Right back at you, Jillian. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And we have somebody, LinkedIn user, this is just a settings issue. We all experience this. I've had similar encounters with Gatwick Airport, Nationwide Bank, Sky Television, blah, blah, and many others. Let's skip the long story and allow me to introduce myself. I'm Spencer, deaf since birth, and one of my posts went viral, reaching 4.8 million impressions on LinkedIn in just 1 week. Remember, it's not just about what you know, but it's also about who you know. That's the key to everything. By the way, nice beard, Jeremy. That's very good. That's very, very good. Okay, so Jeremy, going back to some of the things that we were talking about, when we're talking about writing, what about all this AI? Like you're the human content writer. I know that you agree that sometimes AI has its purpose. For instance, we wouldn't have auto-generated captions without AI, so we can't kill it. But where does it fit in with still remaining human?
Well, I mean, look, I use AI. Whoa. But I use AI responsibly. I use AI ethically. I've got AI has definitely got its purpose in a number of things. I mean, the way I see it, if you're not using AI, your business will be gone soon. You will be out of jobs. You have to think about how you can integrate AI within your work practice. So, how do I use AI? AI for ideation. AI is for just checking my copy to make sure that I've not missed anything obvious, not making any grammatical error. And a few other things. So basically, I've actually got my own prompts. I've got about over 50, 60 prompts now, where it's written in my own human style. It understands me, understands my language. So what it has done, I mean, I've got my own prompts from other clients as well. So when I write client content, I write in their own language. And when I say their own language, how they normally come across, and so on. And I always make sure that, I've actually got a blacklist of words, I swear. I've got a blacklist of over 150 words that I don't allow my AI to use. So, for example, elevate. Now, I'll tell you a funny story. Before AI came in, I used the word elevate quite a lot, but then AI used elevate in every single piece of LinkedIn. I'm thinking, for goodness sake, will you stop it? There are telltale signals with AI and so on. I've got a list of 150 words that I've got a blacklist that I would not allow in my copy. Because it's just no one will say those words when you're having a conversation.
Clever, clever. So then when people are using LinkedIn and they have use AI to make a post, do you think that maybe it's okay to get a general sense, but then you should make it your own?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, the way I work is I write the copy myself first, and then I'll ask AI to have a look at it and so on. But I still got my own copy, and I compare the two, that kind of thing. But you and I know we can tell what's been written using AI and everything like that. AI, it's not. Look, at the end of the day, it's not human. It's not human. It's a robot. It doesn't know how to be human. Doesn't know how to be what to have a proper conversation and so on. That might happen 2 years down the line, a few years down the line, but right now, it's just not happening. And look, the way I used to have a content authenticate. Oh my God, I can't say that word properly. Content authentication statement where I state 95% of my copy is written by me, and that's a 5%, which is AI. There's a sprinkle of AI magic in my copy.
I like that. I like that. Okay. So moving to visuals, because I think visuals are another part of making our content human. So what are your thoughts on visuals?
I mean, look, okay, so there are a couple of schools of thought. So first of all, I used a lot of selfie images. Hold on there. I don't use therapy for every single one. I hate that. Where someone just, oh, it's me. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Therapy to attract attention. For example, I've got a therapy where I've got a party hat on. I've got a therapy where I'm being absolutely ridiculous and so on. I mean, do you remember the CEO crying therapy? I had one. Yeah, exactly. I created one as a joke in a while back, and that was quite funny actually. But it does grab people's attention and so on. But what I do is I try and think about how I can use visuals. I've only done a couple of AI images, and I haven't really got that many impressions. But the most popular impression where I've actually been creative. I've also used quite a few GIFs as well, animated GIFs, because that really does capture attention. Have you ever seen Little Britain, where you've got Matt Lucas, where we have it's a comedy show, and you've got this character where you say computer says no. So I've got an image where there's computer says no, where I've had a problem with something like that kind of thing. You've got to make people laugh, you've got to grab people's attention. The worst images that you can use are basically stock images and so on. People just scroll by. I'm always scrolling by if I ever see a stock image. But the scroll stops when I see something with their images do catch your attention, and 95% of my posts are image posts. And I'm averaging around about 1,500 to 2,000 impressions per post at the moment, basically.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. That's great. Okay, so last little topic, and we've only got a couple minutes to cover it, but you are one of the organizers of Uplift Live 2025. You were 2024, which is how I got to meet you in person. And again, this is about humans coming together and learning about LinkedIn. So is there anything you want to tell us about Uplift Live 2025?
Well, we've got some amazing speakers next year. We've got AJ Wilcott, the Adnan. We've got all the way to Stan Rathling, who's had who's one of the biggest LinkedIn superstars here. I'm not going to name all the speakers because right now I can't remember everything in my head. Actually, sorry to everybody here. Look, it's a fantastic conference. It's in Birmingham. It's in March 2025, March the 28th, something like that, roughly. Apologies if I've got this wrong. I'm sure someone will put it up in the banner here. But if you go to the website, uplift-live.com, all the details on there. It's all about LinkedIn education. But not only that, you meet an amazing community of people that you've always met on LinkedIn, but never met in real life. It's just great fun. We've got people coming from all over the world. Last year, we had about 25 countries. And hopefully this year, in 2025, we'll have a lot more countries. And there are only about 75 tickets left at the early bird price as well. So get your tickets now. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So we've reached the end of our 30 minutes. And we have had, I think, an awesome conversation today, a human conversation today. Is there any kind of final words of wisdom, Jeremy, that you'd like to leave us with?
Look, don't be afraid of oversharing. Be you, be real. Stop being corporate. People are not interested in your company. People are interested in you. People want to do business with you, not your company. That is what being human is about. 80% of my business comes from LinkedIn, and that's just from me being human, being real, being me.
My heart, my heart. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for being here today. Thank you for everybody who's joined in and everybody who's going to be listening on the podcast. And we just thank you for being part of our human conversation today. Bye-bye, everybody.